Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, Wellness Warriors, to another episode. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited about who we are talking to today. My beautiful friend, Dr. Jodee Baer. Oh my gosh, so excited for this powerhouse of a woman. She is such an inspiration to me in so many ways. The way that she has created this enormous mission, this opportunity to use the wisdom and also flex her network to make an incredible impact on the world. And she is a holistic nutritionist. She's a certified foundational health coach. She sits on the board of a really long acronym that stands for a short acronym that's the Advocacy Council for Alternative Medicine Practitioners, and so much more. You guys, I'm not going to read her whole bio because the truth of the matter is she's lived a beautiful and very, very, very profound life and made such an impact in her career. So if you want to see more about who this human is, head on over to the episode. If you click, you can read everything right on the website. So absolutely so thrilled to have you here, Dr. Jodee. And I know that your mission is so aligned with Wellness Warriors. You are a wellness warrior in the world. That is without a doubt. And you have created Wellness Warriors through all that you have taught so abundantly. And so I'm super excited, but I'd love for you to say hello to all of our listeners today and share with them who you are and why you're excited to be here.
Well, Lindsay, first of all, thank you for the opportunity. I never am so humbled when somebody asks me to be on their show to share what I've done for 4 decades, Lindsay. So thank you to you. Thank you for your producers, and thank you for this opportunity, because little Jodee always knew that there was more in health, and I knew I had to push through. When I actually figured out a way, having asthma, I decided I was going to be a runner. And I figured out when I was 14, and to the dismay of my mother, that I tried out for the track team. And my asthma got better because the body put in the right decision. And the decision that was me, put in the right condition, and the right atmosphere will heal itself. Fast forward, Lindsay, when did I get my first bite? Here I am, a mother. You're a mother. I'm a mother. I have this bun of a baby in the oven. And I go to La Leche League. I thought, giving my unborn child the best help. And I looked over at the dining room table. It had 2 food groups, additives and preservatives. Now, Lindsay, I have more of a filter on my life right now. And what I did then at 26, I said, what are we putting in this? And I did not know that the president of La Leche League International was there, and she looked at me combative and said, if you're so smart, why don't you do something about it? I got my first health coaching certificate at age 26, and what I created, the nutritional protocols and outline for La Leche League International, is still there 43 years later. Because Wellness Warriors, if you're called to do something with your life, in your health, you will be equipped. And here in the Wellness Warrior Within is a beautiful platform. Thank you, Lindsay.
Oh my gosh, I love that. So Dr. Jodee, you and I mean, we've been able to actually hug in person. We've been able to meet and feel each other's energy. It's, that is like such a beautiful gift for me. And in the same breath, like, it's not as though we're able to dig into our full family history. And so I was also asthmatic. That was my very first, the steroids and the inhalers and the, hospital stays and the whole thing that, or emergency room treatments, I will say, these whole things were like terrifying for me in terms, and I was told that I would have that indefinitely, that if I didn't grow out of it by my teen years, that it was with me for a lifetime. And I'm here as a testament to say, I threw my inhaler away at 32. And that was 3 years after I stopped using it, but I was still too scared to not have it in the house. I was like, oh, but what if, because I'd been so conditioned my whole life. And through changing my lifestyle, which is exactly what we share in our community and here on the podcast, that is where I was able to step away from what they told me was a lifetime disease. to eradicate what they said was not available. So I know that you get super excited, and you're also recently, coming up in, I think 4 days. Are we 4 days from launch of your book? When is the release date for this beautiful birth you are bringing to the world?
The second birth, my son, the next birth. And by the way, I was going to say, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Health from a Hotel Room. There we go. And we do it anywhere because that's what we do. And Lindsay, we pushed the launch date back to the 17th only because my graphic artist, Danya Safar, died tragically in a hotel fire 3 weeks ago. And that's when you know that life is fragile. Handle it with care and prayer. That's my message to our Wellness Warrior audience here. And we had to recreate a lot of the graphics. So that is a beautiful thing, though. But we have been able to create all my book sales on drjodee.com, all now and through the end of June are going to the Danya Safar Memorial School of Hope. We are building a school of hope back in her native country and her native town where she was born in Pakistan for other budding graphics. That's what we do. We give back what we have been given. That's what I'm doing 42 years later in health. I give back what's given. That's when this book began. But I just wanted to let people know it's the 17th of May. You can go to Amazon. You can go right now to my website and get it because there's more profit for the school. It's the 21 Days to Your Best You Keys for a Life of Excellence. Don't we need this, Lindsay? Don't we need? And I want to give just one snippet to your audience because it's 21 days. Why? Because we all have circadian rhythms. Even your producer has a cycle. Men have a cycle. Women have a cycle. We all have a cycle, and we can get the most of our life in 21 days. Now, I backed it back up. Because there are no coincidences. There are no coincidences how this book happened, how me being a vocal musician, classically trained, decided I'm going to write 21 days. Why? In a downturn economy, when I lost my income and I was the sole support of two sons, 15 and 17. That was their age, but that was their shoe size. And they were world ranked athletes. I needed an income. I said, I know about 21 days. I know this. I know that. So the rest of the story is that started in 1995. I created a company, an 8-figure company that I sold. I wrote my dissertation on it. Now it's coming into a book. Why? Trifecta, the other number that is a circadian rhythm, the divine number 3. And this book, 21 Days to Your Best You, 7 days of this, 7 and 7, 3 things. Ladies and gentlemen, grab a hold of this wellness warrior inside of you, and you will have your keys to excellence. Life is about you and you for 7 days. Then you and others. You cannot give out what you first not attain for yourself, and then take it out the last 7 days to you and your world, based around the Kabbalah. My dissertation, my theme of all this is the 6 pillars to human existence: spiritual, physical, mental, emotional, social, and then the bedrock, financial. Thank you for asking, Lindsay.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And there's some familiarity because for our community, we've done the Super Attractor. And so I've led a number of 21-day challenges. So this idea, and you just took that up a whole level, you guys, like understanding how this can really build in. And then also the beautiful thing of thinking about applying this in these sections of like the you, the others, the world is also, I love that generosity and the way that it functions in. So we do book clubs in our community. So you guys stay tuned. You may see this one meeting one of our book clubs to come up. I know that a lot of awakening and opening would happen. And then I loved that there was some science of getting rich in there and bringing it back to what is truly, universal knowledge if we all tap in, and really coming back to those pillars. And such an important thing that I know is your center for your focus, for pouring forward all of this wisdom and ensuring that people understand that it's achievable, that we can all do it, that it is here within the thinking stuff, if you will. So Dr. Jodee, I would love to know, given this in terms of now I feel as though you've given people a lot to process. Like you guys, if you are part of the podcast right now and you're listening and you're not immediately thinking, if I walked away from this podcast doing nothing else, but doing something different for 21 days, we now know that it would have an impact in our body because Dr. Jodee's telling us about how it connects with the circadian rhythm. But some people are like, "Oh, I want more." Okay, I'm down for 21 days. There are these 3 segments. And so what would you invite wellness warriors to really consider in terms of amplifying in their life? Like what is a core focus or just a pure passion, a place that you get so ignited to speak about that you want to pour into your community that you think is often overlooked?
Well, that was very nice that you mentioned Ignite, which is my publishing house. JBO is going to like the Ignite part of this. But day number 1, starting out with believe it's for real. It starts with the thinking stuff. You already said it. It starts with believe. What do you believe? Because it's only about you and you. I call the you and you. You are president of your own corporation. It's you incorporated. How would you treat yourself if you knew that you had the title of CEO? How would you treat yourself? Treat yourself with that kind of respect, that kind of honor, that kind of just beingness. Because see, you chose, I'm coming back to this, your asthmatic say, I'm over this. I said, I'm over this because you chose to believe differently. It's like what Les Brown, my coach and mentor, says, your diagnosis is not your prognosis. And I had to trim down his quotes in there. My publisher said, is it Les Brown's book or yours? You have 14 quotes. It's only 21 chapters. And guess who I also had to clamp down? I quoted Wallace D. Waddles 23 times more than the chapters. But it's true because it's like the wind. You can't touch it, you can't feel it, but you know it's there. Your essence, ladies and gentlemen, is you. That wellness warrior, that thing that you would fight for, you would die for, choose to do that for you first. You in your world first. And when you do that, you in your world first, I have a quote that says, when you take care of you in your world first, the world around you is empowered forever. And that is a choice. That's a way of being, and it's a way of living in frequency. Like you said, you were in fear that you couldn't throw your inhaler away. I was in fear that, oh, yes, I am going to die because I have this prognosis, but the prognosis was not your diagnosis. When you get on that other side of regeneration, where does it happen, ladies and gentlemen? It starts with confidence. Then it goes to joy, love, passion, ecstasy. The minute you freeze in fear, you're down the degrading cycle in Chinese medicine that goes to fear, then anger, resentment, disease, and death. So stay and choose confidence every time. Choose confidence because you're right there in the threshold of joy. I chose confidence trying out for the track team. You threw your inhaler away. Choose confidence. Choose confidence because it starts in the mind. It goes into the body, which transcends to the spirit.
I mean, if you are listening to this podcast, then you know exactly why we were excited to have Dr. Jodee Baer on as a guest. And you guys, I believe that this podcast is also a beautiful, beautiful gift to me because when we are in conversation, every single time I'm like, that message is meant for me. That's meant for me. Like you're speaking, you are reminding me, you are igniting in me. And so I'm so grateful to call you a friend and be able to continue to learn from you. Is there anything you would like to leave this community with? They're going to be able to connect to all of your socials. They'll be able to see your beautiful bio. They'll be able to find the book on Amazon, which I will encourage. There will likely be more unveiling or likely a participation in a 21-day something I see coming up for Dr. Jodee. So I think that there's going to be absolutely a lot of opportunity for people to connect in, but during this particular episode? Anything else you feel is left unsaid before we hop out of here, sweet friend?
Sweet friend, I'm a holistic healer, which means it's whole, not half. Okay, it's a holistic, WHOLE, but where you're a plant-based warrior queen, okay? Because no food tastes as good as health feels, number one. And lastly, health is not something you do. It's what and who you become. A long life's journey. Thank you for this opportunity. Much love, because Lindsaya, we put our heart in through our hand, this right heart here, this right hand, then put your left over. And guess what? When you put that left over, your pulse gets stronger, because together, being wellness warriors, we need each other. Thank you.
Oh, I love you. I love you. You're amazing. You guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode with this exceptional human. She is a wealth of knowledge. You'll be inspired by following her in all of the ways, shapes, and forms. And for those of you that are excited to participate and become more deeply entwined, we have some upcoming events. We just finished our workshop. So we just had a live workshop. If you are listening to this at the actual launch time, but this is a forever living experience. So you can always meet us if you're like, workshop, what? Retreat coming up? Who, where, when? Just so you know, those things are always happening within the Wellness Warrior Collective. So be sure that you jump on over. You can go to thewellnesswarriorcollective.com. There, you'll be able to opt into our email list, where we will only contact you around the things that you say you're interested in. And if retreats or events or workshops are those things, then you would have been notified. And you may even see Dr. Jodee's beautiful face at one of those things coming up. So until next time, we hope that you continue knowing the power to amplify the wellness warrior within. And until then, we'll hear you on the next episode, friends. Have a great one.